Good afternoon. Today you are going to be finishing up your value practice from the last 2 days, remembering that you should have created a three-dimensional effect using the technique, and that we were embracing this as a way to practice. And so if your shapes don't feel three-dimensional, feel free to practice them again. If you don't completely finish the stipple, that's 100% fine. I know it is the kind of ridiculously time-consuming one, and so as long as you have your value skill done in stipple and one shape, I can see that you understand how to make the technique work. And I recognize that that one is time-consuming, so it's something that you can kind of go back to and finish up. Today, what you're going to do, over on the counter, there are images like this. So you're going to take an image and you're going to take one piece of the small transfer paper. And what I'm going to do is go into my sketchbook. I'm going to just place the transfer paper on top of the sketchbook. And then I'm going to, I can kind of position the skull on my page. I'm just going to actually hang on to this and trace. So if you remember, the transfer paper goes darker side down into your paper. And then what I'm doing is just really carefully outlining all of the details that I'm going to need for this drawing in pen in my sketchbook. So again, this is for practice, and so the first time you do this, it might end up a little rocky, right? We've talked about this concept that practice is an important concept in our art classrooms, and that it's much like practice with an instrument or a sport, and it might not go that great the first time, and that's 100% all right, unless of course I stop there and just say, oh, whatever, I suck at this, I'm done. Instead, we want to embrace this concept that we can keep working and that it gets better with practice. So I am doing what you guys are going to do and tracing this into my book. And then what you're going to do, okay, so before I let go of this, here's a quick tip. I'm going to like push down here so that I can lift this back and make sure that I got enough of the details that I need in order to make my drawing work. So just kind of want to make sure that that is the case. And then I'm going to keep this guy handy because I want to look at him while I'm shading. So you can use any of the techniques that we've been using in class. It doesn't matter to me which of the techniques you use, or which combination even for that matter of the techniques that you use. You do just need to make sure, flip this around so I can look at it while I shade instead of use it like a napkin. So I'm going to go for some cross hatching here this first time. Just like yesterday, this is practice. And so I might try this first time and in cross hatching, which is what I'm doing right now, and decide, oh, that was tough. Doesn't look the way I wanted it to. And then I'm going to use my transfer paper and I'm going to transfer it again and I'm going to practice again because that is how practice works, right? You're going to do it again until it feels like you've got it kind of mastered or have done a decent job with it. So don't Don't be thinking, oh, I tried it once. This was harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm just finished. You definitely want to make sure that you're giving it multiple tries today, because this is definitely more complicated practice than yesterday's just geometric shapes. So go ahead and give the skull a try in one or more of our pen techniques.